So I have a brother and he needs my help. And that's the thing about these daily videos. You can have your whole day planned out, but one phone call and everything changes. So now the plan is we're gonna go and help my brother because he has bought something and it doesn't fit in his car. That's no good, is it? So anyway, the trusty Renault Grand Scenic, he's coming to the rescue. There we go, the tractor just went past. Scared the life out of me, that tractor. Anyway, I'll see you there. Oh, this is nice. Not bad at all. So here I am at my brother's place. That's right. My brother also lives in, and I have a brother. What a shock. Some of you may not know that. But I've come to see him just to give a hand, of course, with that piece of furniture. And now that that's done, my brother and I are just chilling. You're in witness protection as well, aren't you? He's off camera. He's off camera, but he's laying low. The mafia, you know, they've got their ways of finding you, so we've got to be protect him at all costs. Hi, brother.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good.
Are you my older brother or my younger brother?
Older by a couple of years.
That's right.
Yeah.
So my I'm almost 30, and my brother's he's on the other side of the 3-0.
Yep.
And you live in this lovely house, which we've seen a little bit of.
Yeah.
It's quite nice. Do you enjoy it?
It's alright. It's not what you expect when people think France.
That's very true. It's very modern, very minimalist, very feng shui, as they say.
We were talking about it earlier in the car, where now you've got France and then you've got like New France, and this is one of those New France places where smaller property, smaller garden, very close to your neighbours on either side. It's not what people usually see with old properties and big open spaces, although we're very fortunate to have this field behind us, which is great. Yeah, it's nice. It's pretty nice. I like it. I like the place. You don't own this place, do you? No.
Just renting?
Yeah. We've been here, there and everywhere and travelling, so we came back, and very difficult market whether you're renting or buying right now. Renting's really hard as well, so we applied for dozens and dozens and dozens. It was over 50 places, and because we're both self-employed, very, very difficult to be accepted, because in France most rentals have renters, they have insurance for the owners, so if renters don't pay their rent, then they get the money, but there's some very specific criteria there. Oh right. Oh, and self-employed, you don't meet it. You have to be employed by a company, you have to earn over 3 times the rent in monthly salary, and you have to have been employed for a number of months, if not years. Right. So it's hard to rent a place. Very difficult. But you managed to rent this place. Yeah, we got lucky. They, the landlord is really nice, and they understood our situation. Oh, good. Yeah. So there are some human people out there. What do you think of France in general, I should ask? It's changed a lot.
It has changed in the last 20 something years that we've been here.
Yeah,
we grew up here, of course.
Going away and then coming back.
Yeah, because you went here, there, and everywhere, didn't you?
I've travelled here, there, and everywhere, and then come back, and that's when you really notice it. You notice stuff's changed. You notice how.
For the better or for the worse?
I mean, ask anyone how their countries have changed recently. Everyone's going to say for the worse.
That's true.
In the Western world, anyway. And France is no different in that regard.
Well, that's where you and I differ, because I think France has improved in many ways in recent years. The infrastructure, the internet.
Oh, the internet, yeah. And we're really fortunate, because little known fact about where we live.
Yeah.
This is the only department in France that's 100% high-speed fibre.
Yeah, that's very true.
Our neighbouring department is one of the worst in the country.
Yeah.
And I've got friends who live very close to one of France's top 10 cities. Within a 10-minute drive, their internet is sub 1 megabyte speeds.
Yeah, very bad. Yeah.
And they're using satellite internet because the internet's so bad. So we're really fortunate on that front here. And no, it's a much. I mean, when you compare it to countries with the rat race and stuff, it's much nicer. Of course.
Peaceful.
It's just we were very spoiled before growing up with how this country was.
Yeah.
And seeing it change, become busier.
Yeah.
As we were saying, New France with the smaller houses, smaller properties, it's a lot more crowded.
Yeah.
That has an impact on the quality of life, but we're still very fortunate.
Where's your ideal country to live? Where's your favourite? Because I know you've been to many, we won't list them off, but where would you see yourself settling? If money were no object, if you had the freedom to do that, where would you go? Forever.
That's a really good question. If you got loads of money, there's only a few countries you want to go to anyway, because you want to keep that money.
Yeah. France ain't one of them.
France definitely ain't one of them.
The tax system in France is not the best, whatever way you look at it, whether that's income tax, impôt sur la fortune, if you're really rich, they'll just tax you anyway because of that. And inheritance tax is one of the worst in the world. So if you're planning on leaving something to your loved ones, you might not want to. You can retire in France, but you don't want to park your money here, to be honest.
I was actually reading the other day, retiring in France is really, really good for Americans, apparently, because there's a tax treaty that allows Americans to keep drawing from their retirement funds without paying any more tax, any French tax.
There you go. Come on over.
A lot of American retirees are coming over and benefiting from that. I was reading about it yesterday, actually. So that's pretty cool. For certain people, France is great in that way, but having travelled everywhere, France is one of the most beautiful countries.
It is.
Countryside,
the
beaches,
countryside, something else. The architecture.
Mountains, the architecture, as long as...
The history.
The architecture is nice in the older parts, but in the newer parts, and especially the French cities, the worst part, and this is the last bit of negativity about France, but it's the worst part. You used to be able to go down the high street and you'd have all these lovely little shops and everything was... Now it's these... what they call zone d'activité, right? Zone d'activité outside of a city, and you've got the big hypermarket.
Oh yeah,
and all of that stuff. Yeah. And it just looks horrible. It's all like metal and.
But that's the same everywhere. That's the same in every country.
No, I know that, but France wasn't like that before.
No.
So as I said, we were very spoiled.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the price of progress.
And that's what it is. Yeah, exactly. That is growth, development.
Yeah.
But the good thing about France, compared to the UK, for example, is France has enough room for this development. Yeah. You know, France still has loads of countryside. Most of France is still countryside, whereas when you go to England, you've got places that are kind of different towns that are merging together, because that's just how much development there is. Because when I went back to England, it's a very, very different ball game, to be honest. So and of course the price of houses and stuff in England is an absolute nightmare. Whether you want to rent or buy, it's a nightmare. Whereas in France, places are still affordable. Like for this place, for example, it's just over €1,000 a month to rent something like this, and that's a 3-bedroom house.
And it's partially furnished as well.
Partially furnished. There you go. Just over €1,000, everyone.
The kitchen's furnished. We've got washing machine, tumble dryer.
Perfect.
And it's got brand new heating. It's one of those wooden pellet heaters that heats the whole house. So we actually the previous place we were at, we had gas heating, and the
Yeah.
house was really poorly built. It was an old place. They hadn't done anything
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
We were paying €500 a month on gas during the winter
Ouch.
months, and we couldn't
Ouch.
heat over 18 Celsius. You have to work that out in Fahrenheit for American viewers. But this place, we've spent €450 for the whole winter.
That's very
So
good. Very
we've saved
efficient.
so much money there,
And that's one of the benefits of having a modern house as well. But I mean, if you do an old
or
house,
doing
like
up
modern,
an old house. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's, and I would suggest anyone who's buying property in France to do it up.
Yeah.
Try to stick with try to respect what a French house
should
be.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
bring that little modern touch.
Yeah, definitely.
For comfort, because that's very important as well.
Definitely. Right. Well, I'm going to get out your hair now that I've helped you with the.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no
my
problem.
car was too small.
Yeah,
I didn't realise how big that thing
that's
was.
Absolutely fine. The Renault Grand Scenic came through once again. Can't
did.
beat it. Can't beat it.
Old Faithful.
Right. I'm gonna go now, everyone, and I'll see you later on when I'm back where I'm going. Okay, so stay tuned. I'm gonna chill with my bro. Well, this video has turned out to be quite different, has it not? Totally unexpected on my part as well. But I had fun, and hopefully you enjoyed listening to what my brother had to say and his opinion about jolly old France. So, that's going to be all from me. And I want to try and get this video out earlier than the previous two, because they've been learn to speak, Ryan. They've been going out around midnight, which is way too late. So hopefully I can get this one out a few hours earlier. And, well, that's good for everyone, is it? 'Cause it gives me an early night then as well. So I'm going to love you and leaving out. And I'll see you in the next video, which just so happens to be tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. Bye for now.